So this is a Coachman VIP 675. I'm going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. The front right hand side of the van, you'll notice when I've got the key that there is a battery gas locker in there. Try to open up so you can see everything as we go around. So you've got your gas locker with your 2 gas bottle tie downs, and you've got your gas regulator on the bulkhead up on the wall, on the firewall, bulkhead, sorry. So that's your gas bottle tie downs. Maximum of 2 6-kilogram propane gas bottles can be carried on the van at any point. The front of the van, the hitch up procedure, jockey wheel and handbrake will take you through here on site in person, and also the ATC. You've got a storage locker on the front left hand side of the van as you look at the front of the van, which again you access just with the key. Bottom one. So you've got your storage locker in there, and you've got your wheel brace also in the bottom of that locker. Then got your Aldi heating flue for the heating and hot water systems. That's essentially just a flue to allow the hot air out the side of the unit. And then you've got your wind down legs on each corner at the front also, which you'd wind down with the brace provided with the caravan. You've got your water pump connection, which very simply pushes into the side of the van, as you can see here, and the pump drops down inside the aqua roll. So then once you go inside the van, we can bleed the water system. You've got your battery box, which takes a 110 amp leisure battery in there, especially with a all-wheel drive motor mover. So I'd advise that 110 amp leisure battery is the battery you go for. Terminals on top, 12mm nuts on them, so you can disconnect them or connect them as you need to. Mains power lead coming into the side of the van, as you can see. Basically, the main power for the caravan itself, unless you're off-grid where you'd use 12 volts. The wheel nuts will tighten before you leave site, so you can see they've been tightened correctly. And then the motor movers will also be demonstrated as the caravan has been hooked up to the car. You've got your grey waste pipes coming out the side of the caravan, just here at the back. So you've got your fresh water that goes in the front, has to come out somewhere when it goes through the sink and the shower, and that will come out through these pipes here. You'd put your 2 pieces of grey pipe in the larger diameter circular holes on the grey part of that, just here. Back of the van, you've got your toilet flush tank, just here. This tank takes 3.5 litres of water, so you take the cap off, use a funnel and a jug or watering can, for instance, to fill that with 3.5 litres of water, and you also put a cap full of the pink fluid in there to allow the toilet system to flush and clean the toilet bowl as it goes down, as you'd never use bleach on the toilet system or the shower. The locker for the toilet cassette has inside of it, just as I said, the toilet cassette, which you'll release by pulling up the black handle at the bottom. The neck here turns out so the waste can be tipped away. The grey cap here is a measure for the blue fluid, and you put 1 litre of water in here and a capful of the blue fluid prior to use. On the back of this cassette there's actually a blue button, or potentially green button, depending on what the back of this cassette has got on it, which will allow you to depressurise the tank before you tip the waste away so it doesn't spit and splatter back at you. On the back of the van again, on either side, you have your wind down legs. The wind down legs that are there to stabilise the caravan rather than lift the caravan, and if you did ever lift the caravan with the legs, it could potentially damage the floor of the caravan. On the door side of the van, at the back, you have a storage locker to access the storage underneath the bed, and you can also access that storage point from inside of the caravan. Then got your fridge vents, which allow the hot air out the back of the fridge unit, and behind one of those there'll also be a gas flue for when you're running the fridge on gas. Down the front of the van, on the side, we have a 3-pin socket just here to allow you to plug power to your awning, and then you've got your barbecue gas point on the left hand side at the front also, and your final wind down leg to stabilise the front left hand side of the van. Let's go inside the caravan now, and we'll demonstrate the control panels above the door, heating hot water systems, the fridge system and the toilet inside. So above the door in the caravan, you've got the main control panel, which you power on by pressing the button on the left hand side here. As you can hear, the power is turned off. Low leisure battery voltage is coming up due to the fact there's no battery on the caravan at the moment. Won't actually let me take that off the screen at the moment, give me a second. Just check with the engineer, and that won't actually come on once you've got a battery connected. It's just because there's no battery at the moment on board the van. You've got your internal lights for the caravan on the roof just here, and your awning lights on the outside of the caravan. You have got some options going through the control panel, as you can see. Sorry, the camera actually stopped working there, so I do apologise. So the control panel above the door, you've got your options going through the control panel, which we advise you read the instruction manual for to take you through all of these settings, internal temperature and leisure battery voltage, as you'd expect to see, roof lights and awning light for the outside of the van. You've also got your water pump run here, and you've got the select button. So if you're in the menu, for instance, and you wanted to select something, you could press the middle button, the bottom button here, and it's basically an enter button to let you to go into them options. To fill the water system, first of all, you're going to need to come underneath the seat on the far right-hand side of the van. And underneath here, in the corner, you're going to notice it says 2 yellow valves, one on the red side of the water pipes and one on the blue. Both of these taps are drain down valves, so when these taps are parallel with the floor, you'll actually be able to fill the water systems on board the caravan. If they're pointing upright towards the bottom of the seat, any water that comes into the caravan will drain straight back out onto the floor underneath the van. So to fill it, like I said, parallel with the floor with the yellow taps. You will notice when I turn the taps on in a second, I've already filled the system completely. But you'll open all the taps up on the hot side of the water heating, as you can see here. And you'll notice you've got water coming out of the taps already. When you first open these taps, there will be no water in the system, because after every use, you need to open up them drain down valves underneath the seat and completely drain the water system down. So you'd open up the sink taps on both sinks, and also the shower tap as well, all on the hot side. You don't need to necessarily bleed the cold side, because that will draw straight off the water, off the aqua roll outside. It's just the hot side, so that you've got no air in the system when you try to warm up the hot water tank. Once you've got water flowing out of once you've opened all those taps up, you can come to the control panel by the door, and above the door you have water pump on. So you press this switch here till it said water pump on. And then at that point, it would start drawing water from the aqua roll on the outside of the caravan and filling the internal system up. Once that system is full, you'll have water running continuously out of every tap on board the caravan. And at that point, when you have got water running out of every tap, you can shut all the taps back off and start thinking about warming the water on board the van. So above the door, you've actually got a control panel here, which is the Audi control panel. On and off button on the left-hand side, just down the bottom here, so you can see off. We'll turn it back on. Just go through a load screen. So on the control panel, you may not be able to see because of the reflection on the screen, but at the top here, you've got mains power coming into the heating and hot water system, and below that, you've got the internal temperature of the caravan. Press the menu button, it will take us into the options for the caravan. The top row here is to select the temperature for the heating. So you can go all the way up to 30 degrees, as you can see just there. And below that, you've got the water temperature, so you've got water on and water boost. So when it's halfway up, it'll be water on, and like I said, when you go completely to the top and that bar is completely full, it will be water boost. Below that, you've got the amount of power coming into the caravan. So you've got electric off, electric 1 kilowatt, electric 2 kilowatt, and electric 3 kilowatt. Now, depending on what sort of caravan site you're on, you may be able to run it completely on the 3 kilowatts and it will make the heating and hot water work to the best of its ability. However, if you're on a site with a lower power source, you could run it on the 1 kilowatt if you needed to. That power source is just relevant to the site you are on, and it is only relevant to the heating and hot water systems and nothing else on board the van. If you want to run the heating and hot water systems on gas, you can also do that by pressing the gas option here at the bottom. And if the gas is turned on, it'll actually self-ignite on gas. But before you try to ignite it on there, if it's the first time you've had the gas on for the weekend, I would advise you come to the hob, ignite the hob on gas first, so you've got gas all the way through the systems on board the van, because generally the cooker is the last point on the gas system. To turn the gas option off, you'll press the gas option, the icon again, and that will turn the gas supply off. This control panel does actually work from 12 volts when you're off grid, for instance, when you've got no mains power coming into the caravan. I'll turn that back off for now. To operate the fridge on board the caravan is very simple to do. You've got mains power on at the top here. You've got the gas option here, so it will self-ignite on gas. At the moment, there's no gas on board the van, hence why it is flashing and bleeping at me, letting me know it has not ignited. If it ever does this and the gas is turned on, you can press and hold the reset button on the right-hand side, and it will restart the igniting process on gas. To control the temperature of the fridge on gas or mains, you use the thermometer button just here on the right-hand side. You've then got your 240 volt option here, which will allow the fridge to work on 240 volt, which works the same as a household fridge at that point with your temperature control on the right hand side. And then you've got your 12 volt mode for when you're towing down the road. Now at the moment it's flashing at me and letting me know there's no 12 volt connection coming from the car in front of the van. The reason being there isn't one connected, or a car connected. So when you do connect to the car and you want to get the beers and wine nice and cold for when you get on site, you'll essentially come inside the van, turn the fridge on and select the battery option here, and that will allow the fridge to work as a cool box. Automatic mode will generally always go straight to 240 volt as the first power source it tries. If not, it will select one of the others if there's no 240 available. The aircon system underneath the bed, very simple to use. I'm going to run you through the basic operation of it in the instruction manuals for this. There will be a lot more detailed guide on how it operates. To turn on the air conditioning unit, you press the power button on the control. It'll allow the unit to come on in a moment. It takes a couple of seconds. As you can hear, it's now kicked in. Control temperature on the buttons on the controller, so you've got temp up and down. As you can see here, up and down. Then you've got your different modes going through on the button on the top here, and you've got the different fan speeds also on the button just here. Turn the aircon back off, you'll press the power button, and after a few seconds that will actually turn the air conditioning back off. The microwave unit is an eco microwave, so at the moment it looks like it's turned off. To get it to turn on, you'd press the eco button just here, and sorry, it's already come on. So you press the eco button and normally it'd bleep to let you know it has woken up and is ready to be used. Gas hob, grill and oven all work very much the same as your household, and you've got a 240 electric ring on the back left hand side of the hob. Going into the bathroom now, the last part of the van I'm going to go through. You've got a indicator on top of the toilet to let you know the toilet cassette isn't in place, and obviously when I took it out a moment ago I haven't put it completely back in. You've got a light here to indicate that the toilet flush tank is getting low on water. You've got an indicator light on the bottom right hand side here to indicate that the toilet cassette is half full, and you've got a light here on the top right hand side to indicate that the toilet cassette is completely full. To flush the toilet, you'd press the button in the centre here, and that would allow the toilet system to flush as long as you have put water in the system. Down the bottom here you have a waste handle for the toilet cassette. At the moment I won't be able to open that because the toilet cassette isn't completely in place. But you'd pull this handle towards you, towards the shower, sorry, to allow the toilet waste to go in the cassette underneath the van. The toilet does turn for your convenience, as you can see, but when you are removing the cassette from underneath the van, you need to make sure it's pointing straight towards the shower on the far side. If you have any further questions on the Coachman VIP 675, please don't hesitate to give us a call here at the Caravan Company, and we'd be more than happy to help. Thank you very much for watching, and we hope you enjoy the caravan. Bye bye.